What's going on? What's going on? What is up, A2D family? Welcome to Pro Fan Talk. My name is Marcus Thomas. Man, we got a lot of stuff to go over. Whoo! Happy bearded Thursday. Oh my goodness. Never thought this was going to happen. At least not this season. I thought the Sixers were going to wait until the off season. Man, this is just the elephant in the room. We got to hit it. I didn't think anything would be able to knock the NFL's mess off the top spot. But lo and behold, Daryl Morey and the 76ers just launched a moonshot over the center field fence, finally trading Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden. There's a couple more pieces to that pie, but Daryl Morey has traded Ben Simmons. So all of this bad blood and everything, the boy is out the door. Don't let the doorknob hit you with a good Lord split you. So enough of that. We are into a new era. So let's see what the Beard and JoJo are going to do together. I got a lot of it's going to be some crazy stuff going on. People in Philadelphia are excited. You're going to have a couple people that are, they want to second guess everything. At this point, I was like, you can trade Ben Simmons, for a pack of now and laters and a Snapple, and I'd have been okay with that. That's just the animosity and the vitriol he has created with his behavior. I heard a couple days ago, I heard Shaq's comment on the issue when he said he said some things about him and Ben Simmons reached out. And the one thing I will say about Shaq is always fair when it comes to that. And the only thing Shaq said is you got to play better. You get mad because your coach criticized you after a historically bad series. He didn't play bad. This was historically bad. You cannot be a point guard in the NBA and not shoot the ball. That's not going to happen. You can't win that way. So Doc used to get criticized by the Philly media. I'm not sure how it looked outside of Philadelphia, but Doc used to get criticized on the regular for how much he would protect Ben Simmons. So for Doc to come out and say what he said after the series was over, we lost to Atlanta, and we were clearly the better team. Clearly, should have been no question. And Ben Simmons was not shooting the ball at all. You cannot be a point guard. You literally touch the ball every time down the court. And you've seen the play where he was under the basket. He could have easily dunked it with his 6'10" self, and the only dude that was guarding him was like a 6'2" or 6'3" guard or forward or something like that. He had easy points, and he passed it off. And it was like, dude, what are you doing? So his confidence was shot. I don't know if he had the yips or I don't know what it was, but he wasn't shooting, and he sucked. He sucked historically bad. And Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid and all that kind of stuff, they called him on this shit. They called him on it. And if you are going to be a player in any type of professional league, you got to be able to take that heat, especially if it's true. If you're going to come at me and you telling lies, we can battle. But if you bring in truth, one thing in this world that you can't argue with is the truth, because it'll always come back as the truth. I don't know if he's never experienced that growing up. I don't know what they did in Australia or before he came to LSU. I don't know. I remember when I was in high school at Princeton, my junior year, we were trying to get to the playoffs, and I was in the game, and I fumbled a pitch. I fumbled the ball that cost us a game that possibly cost us getting into the playoffs. And that whole week of school, I had to go back and I had to hear the jokes and the dirty looks and all of that kind of stuff. And I hated it. Absolutely hated it. But I had to deal with it. Mind you, back then, no social media. You got what you got. And in my situation, it was justified. But you know what? You come back stronger. You got to take your lumps. And for some reason, Ben Simmons did not want to take his lumps at all. He shied away from it. He had every excuse in the world. They don't like me. Basically, that's what he was saying. They don't like me no more, so I don't want to play with them. I want to take my ball and go home. That's basically what he was doing. And it's like, come on, man. Can't do that. They paying you a max contract. And now you sensitive? Nah, son. You got to do better than that. And then, of course, he came with the mental issue. Don't do that, because that is an issue that's too serious for a lot of people, and for him to pull that out of the sky. Because I know a lot of people say, I don't know if he's, and I'm like, nah, that's not what it looks like to me. And yes, I could be wrong, but that's my opinion on that one. Because guess what? He didn't have no mental issues when he signed that max contract. Nope. And you know what? He didn't have no mental issues when every summer he was posting on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, all of them, the gym footage when he hitting all of them jumpers in the offseason. Wasn't no issues there. Trying to let everybody know, yeah, I'm working on my outside game. I'm working on my jump shot, and posting all them videos of hitting 10 jumpers in a row. And Philadelphia was getting excited. Like, yeah, he getting his game together. Came right back, and it was even worse. So you get no sympathy from me, bro. You gotta produce. You gotta produce. That's all that Shaq was saying in the long run. It's like, dude, if you want to be great, you gotta be great, but you gotta take the heat. You gotta take your lumps. And he didn't want to do that, man. Props to Daryl Morey. He stuck to his guns. He stuck to his game plan. He was like, I'm not trading Ben Simmons for just any old body. We got to get value for him. And when he was taking the heat, because everybody was like, you got to get rid of this dude. And Daryl Morey was like, you just can't get rid of somebody of Ben Simmons' caliber for nothing. Because say what you want, I don't like the way his offensive game is. He's still a defensive juggernaut. His defensive game is super tight. So I understand where Daryl Morey was coming from. And he stuck to his guns because he had a lot of pressure. It was like, dude, take whatever you could, because that's what it was getting to here in Philly. Take whatever you can take just to get him out of here, just so we can get rid of that distraction, especially when Joel Embiid and Maxey started balling. And finally people were like, okay, we might be all right. Okay, we got some ballers, and we don't need Ben Simmons. We still need him. We still need what he brought to the table defensively. And we still need, another point guard that can do. I was kind of sorry to see Seth Curry go, but we kept the people that we wanted to keep. We kept Thibault, and we kept Max. So that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. What's going on, Murph? Keeping Maxey was key. I agree with you. He has proven that he is somebody worth keeping. A young star. He started balling. So you did not want to get rid of that kid, because that would have bit us in the butt at some time in the future. So I'm glad we got a chance to keep him. I did like Drummond, but he's not someone that I would consider is a must keep. So we did what we had to do. 76ers get Harden and Paul Millsap. And the Nets got Simmons, Curry, Drummond. They got an unprotected 22 first-round pick, and they got a protected 27 first-round pick. So I'm not that in tune with the NBA and basketball. Football is my thing, but I have to do some more homework to kind of really figure out what the protected and unprotected means. I'm not quite sure about that. But honestly, I'm not going to worry about a draft pick 5 years from now. This landscape is going to look totally different. Totally different. And my grandson, Chris, he said, Maxey's the most efficient point guard in the league. May not be the best, but he turns the ball over fewer than once per game on average. Okay, absolutely. Absolutely, because, for a minute, we were good with turnovers. So, absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't got no problem with that. Um, Let me see. Tori in Washington says keeping Maxi and Thibault was really big. I agree. I totally agree. If you were to put out a poll just to the Philadelphia fans, that is the common sentiment. You can't get rid of Maxi. Thibault, I thought was expendable because I think if Maxi had not have just blown up these last couple of months, people would have been saying that about Thibault. Like we can't give him up. And then Maxi came out of nowhere, and it was like, okay, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Maxi. So he was like, nah, we can't get rid of him. So if Maxi didn't do what he did, I think Thibault would have been the non-trade person. So, but they both started balling, and we got them both. They both staying here. So now let's see if this chemistry is gonna gel, and we can see what Harden is gonna do with these boys. So I want to see what him and JoJo are going to do because that'll be interesting. So yes, in my opinion, Harden needs to lose a couple pounds, but he can play that off. So we are going to see what is going to happen. Greg, what's going on, bro? Crazy, 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 man. Happy Bearded Thursday. Everybody gonna have the beards at the next Sixers home game. They're probably printing them out right now in mass. So that'll be fun. I was gonna try to put one on my printer and make me a beard, but I was like, nah, let me chill out. So, but it's exciting, man. It's exciting. Check out this was I wanted to show this. My goal is to come in every day, get better, and help the team that I'm on win a championship. Ben Simmons. I don't know when he said this, but just the fact that you can look at this and look at all these receipts and now, and it's like, really, dude? Ain't nothing in that quote about you throwing away $19 million because you ain't want to come and play. So that's an interesting quote. All of these quotes, all of this kind of stuff, all of these mental health issues, everybody got receipts on this stuff. So I would imagine at some point in the future, they're going to call them on the carpet about that stuff, especially about the mental health stuff, because that ain't something you play with. That is not something you play with. So I would imagine that it's going to be some people to call them on the carpet. So it should be interesting. Vince, what's going on, brother? Protected means of the pick falls within a certain amount of the Sixers get to keep it. For example, if the Sixers are top 5 draft picks, the Nets won't get it. Okay, I got you. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We will see what is happening. Hey, Kimmy, I see you on there. What's going on? Thank you for joining. It is crazy, man. This has knocked the Super Bowl off the top charts, man. I was so ready to continue to talk on Brian Flores and all of the breakdancing that Roger Goodell is doing down there at the Super Bowl, because every day everybody's hitting them with them questions, the diversity questions. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So it's pretty interesting that the Sixers knocked the Super Bowl off the top spot. Boy, tell you what, man. Tell you what, Philly is just in the mix. It's just in the mix. So it is incredible. So, all right. So I had to get that out the way, man. That's the elephant in the room today. We had to talk. We had to get a Sixers some love. So I was like, no long introduction. Let's jump right into it. I do have a guest today. Uh, I do have had a great conversation, awesome conversation with my man John Booty. John was a safety with the Eagles for 2 years. He got drafted by the Jets. Played 3 years with the Jets, and when the Eagles hired Kotite, he brought Booty over with him. Kotite brought a lot of guys over because I remember Booty was here. John left the year before I got here. My rookie year was 93. John was here in 91 and 92. So he was part of that Gang Green defense, and he knew all of the captains and everything. Reggie White and Seth and Byron and Clyde and Wes Hop and EA, Andre Waters, all of them. So Willie T, he was part of that group. So it was he was part of that group, and I've ran into to John at obviously at all the alumni functions, and me and him kind of created a friendship through that, going social media and stuff. But we always contact somebody that you hit up, he'll always hit you back, that sort of thing, man. So I've always appreciated John. And when I called him up, he was like, yeah, let's do it. Had a little bit of technical difficulty, but we got it in. So, but I had a great conversation, and you got to stay to the end because he's got a good story about Reggie that was pretty cool. Because I got there right after Reggie left for Green Bay. So I didn't get a chance to experience the greatness that was Reggie White. Missed him by that much. So, but anyways, we're gonna jump into that. So I'll still be on the chats, but definitely want you guys to hear this conversation between me and John. So keep firing the comments. I'll be live on the chats. And if you got something to say about John, I know John is paying attention. I know he's out in LA for the Super Bowl. So he contacted me earlier tonight. And so we're gonna be doing some more things in the future. I definitely think I'm gonna have him back on the show. It was great conversation. So I want y'all to hear this, check this out. This is my buddy John.
There we are. All right. So we live now. So I'm here with my friend John Booty. John, welcome to A2D Radio, to the Pro Fan Talk.
Well, it's good to be on your show, man.
I appreciate you coming on short notice. Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
This week. So it's a lot of stuff coming on, man. And one thing I've been saying the last couple of weeks, bro, it's like the NFL is the gift that keeps on giving.
Man, you're right about that.
Yeah. It has been.
Keep on giving. Just keep on giving.
I don't ever remember any time in my life watching as a kid in college or any time the NFL having this many issues back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's from the Washington Commanders and their situation to Flores and Miami.
Yep.
To we didn't think that Cincinnati would be in the Super Bowl after a 21-point getting jumped out on 21 points, but to that what they call a Pro Bowl game was unbelievable. And it's just, again, that's the Pro Bowl is what it is, but there's other stuff off the field and holding people accountable.
Yeah,
that's where we need to talk about and go. And Commissioner Goodell needs to let the owners know, hey, this is 2022. I know we got a lot of foolishness still going on around and with the politics and all that stuff, but right is right. Quality coaches out here, and you need African American coaches of color. Don't make it so hard on them to keep their jobs, and then when they're winning,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because all it is it goes back to the same thing with, like, listen, man, we just trying to get a equal shot,
equal footing.
Keep it fair. Keep it fair. Don't tell me you don't want me, and then you hire somebody with zero coaching experience.
Right.
That's the slap in the face.
Right.
That's the slap. That whole Brian Flores thing. My opinion is the Giants have the right to hire whoever they want.
Right.
But you do not have the right to waste my time.
No.
That's where the crap hit the fan, was when he found out that you brought him in and you got to make him jump through hoops, and then you done already made your decision.
Like what they call a horse and pony, a dog and pony show.
Dog and pony show, man.
And Flores had to learn through an old giant himself, Bill Belichick. With sometimes things happen for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
So that was meant to happen, and that cemented what he wanted to do. That's bigger than he. Yeah. And so again, it's a gift that keeps on giving, right? The NFL here lately just been like, wow.
One thing after, and then I hear today, I'm sitting there taking notes about that craptastic Pro Bowl, whatever you want to call that. And then I saw the news on Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man. Like, y'all got to be better than this, man. And I don't remember when the symposium started, because I know you came out when, 88?
Well, my rookie year was '88, so
Yeah. And I came out in '93, and they
we
talked
didn't
to the
have
rookies, but
symposium.
we didn't have a symposium. Nah.
No, we didn't have that. We had someone from the league office come and talk to us, but he talked to us as a group, as a team, not just the
Right.
rookies.
Right.
I can't remember if we had anything that they talked to us at the combine. I believe they had someone talk to us at the combine, but not as in depth or
Yeah.
detailed as it
That's the
is
stuff
now.
they do now.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this had to be like 10 years ago now, where they had some girl at the rookie symposium,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
was going around getting everybody's numbers,
Right.
and then she came on stage
Right.
and told everybody she was HIV positive.
Yeah. I remember that. I do
I was
remember that.
like, great
Wow.
idea. But
Great idea. Well, it's good like Dion had an Instagram model come and talk to Florida. Jackson State
yeah,
coaches. He had an Instagram model
I
come
didn't
and
hear
said,
about that.
yeah, he was on his Instagram page. He's like,
Wow.
and all the young guys are just going nuts behind her, Just, wow,
Yeah.
look at this. She come in her bodysuit and all that. And she was sharing with how easy it could be for me to manipulate you in the way that you get your
Absolutely.
attention, not manipulate you, but get your attention. Las Vegas is a great place to party and have a good time, but it's a good place for professional athletes,
Man, it's you can't. And I don't know if they've released any video. I haven't read any reports or anything, but I don't understand how people continuously get caught up in those situations.
Well, as we were young at one time and we fought against it.
Yeah.
I was in New York City my rookie year, first
Right.
3 league and Manhattan, and that's when I appreciate my country roots coming out because I was intimidated by that city.
Right.
Right. Manhattan by myself, or if I did, I had to go in there. I went there with somebody who I knew about Manhattan, and I listened to the coaches, and that city is a concrete jungle, glass
Yeah,
and jungle, and it will eat your lunch, and eat your life. So you got to practice all type of common sense but this day and age, back then we had people coming after us. You had the ladies coming after you, and you had the guys who want to be in your circle. You see, and I think nowadays with so much technology going on that we have now, guys are accessible, and some guys out there just test you.
Absolutely.
He's being tested by a guy. That's that running back. He think because there's a lot of men out there who are envious of the pro athlete.
Absolutely. And they'll put a game plan together. Like they get one of his boys to say, "Hey, I'm gonna bump him, make him spill his drink. You cause a ruckus, and maybe we can get 10 grand out of the deal or something like
get
that."
something out of it. Yeah.
People scandalous like that, man. And I don't understand how all of these players go down there because they are acutely aware of the whole social media thing. We ain't have to go through that.
No, we didn't have to go.
If your name was in the paper, that was a big deal. But now, man, you get this instant information and all of that kind of stuff. I remember because I've always been, I'm always, and you've heard me say this before, I'm always considered the nerd of the group because I've always been in tune with technology.
Technology, yes.
And I remember the story that came out. I believe it was Julian Edelman that was with some chick overseas or somewhere, and she took a picture of him when he was asleep. I was like, luckily, he's single.
Right.
He was nobody's business but his, and he wasn't hurt nobody.
Right.
But I can see how somebody could take a situation like that and really try to put somebody through the ringer, trying to get something out of them. And I remember hearing about that, and I was like, school's out. If these people don't understand how to work this stuff, they're gonna be in trouble.
Right.
They're gonna be in trouble. And I remember you were at the Super Bowl thing, right, at the Art Museum?
Yes, I was there.
And I remember when everybody had to stand up, I was like, "Hey, I'm the nerd of the group. If anybody have any questions about their phones or whatever, ask me." And I had a couple of people come up to me afterwards and was like, "Yo, why are all my phone numbers gone? Or why is my wife getting all my phone numbers out of my phone?" Like, they don't understand the technology, and people still leaving themselves exposed.
Right. and what we are, I talked with my daughter and the kids. She's 26. My youngest is 26, and she was born into the technology. That's when
Exactly.
the .com and the internet just started out, and everybody was having their home computers and all. But these kids nowadays, I've seen 3 or 4 year olds and 5 year olds can operate a cell phone and be on a phone all the time.
Yep.
But again, now these kids growing up in this society of technology, and if you can put it, get it in a way where you can drive some revenue for yourself and a good way, that's a positive thing. But you know, just anything, when there's something good going on, there's something negative around trying to pull you down.
Absolutely. And you know as well as I do, the negative always seems to be louder.
Yes.
So,
Try to be, you know.
but it is what it is, and it'll be interesting seeing all of the interviews with Goodell this week, because all of the stuff with Brian Flores is going to smack him in the face. And I think it's interesting. The two hires, the guy from San Francisco, and since we were texting each other earlier tonight, Lovie Smith has been confirmed.
Yes, confirmed in Houston.
Yeah, in Houston. So I was like, okay, I see how this is going, and I'd be curious to see what the talk is going to be like. If Brian Flores never did this, would this have happened the same way? Would it went down the same way?
No, had he not done this, I think it wouldn't have.
Me too.
I think Houston, I don't know if they would have gone that route, because I'm saying, wait a minute, don't hire Lovey just to hire him, because he's a talented coach.
Absolutely.
He's a Super Bowl coach, but if they did do it, just say, "Oh, listen, we don't want to be on this train that's going nowhere. So let's get on the right train or get on this train and hire an African American coach who has the qualities,
Right.
Not these young guys like the Rams and McDaniels and all these young guys. Hey, he's a seasoned veteran, so he knows what he's doing. So, but jumping on it now, I understand something. The offense coordinator that went to San Francisco, he's going to what's he going? McDaniels. He's going to the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Right.
Yes. And now, did I read something, or I could be wrong, where the Dolphins going to have to give up a third round pick for him?
I don't know. I didn't see that. I have to look that up. They may have been asking for something, or who knows.
Yeah. So again, this Rooney Rule.
It had merit in its intent, but But it was the minute, I remember when it first came down the pipe, and then it was like the second or third year, and then it was like you would hear about a minority coach getting interviewed early, and that was it. You would hear anything else about it.
Let's appease the Rooney Rule. Let's just go with it.
Exactly.
But I am proud of the Rooney's for setting the tone, with Tomlin.
Exactly. Well, to your point, that's the problem. You don't have too many owners now that had that type of character about it. That's the issue.
Right.
That's the issue, because ultimately, you can't tell somebody what to do in their house.
No, you can't.
You own the house. Those are your toys. If you want to, you do with it what you feel. But the optics of it just doesn't look good.
No,
it doesn't look good at all.
Like Flores says, don't. Flores said, he said, don't bring me in there just to, appease the system. You know what I can do. I was behind the 8 ball in Miami and had 2 back-to-back winning seasons. Came real close, make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
And going against an owner who wanted him to fold,
Exactly.
and he still coached these guys to win. Now that's when you have a coach like that, and that's not good on the part of the owner. If he did do that, want to pay you to lose, that's just not right, but you still have a coach that's going to say, listen, I know what's going on with me. I know I could take the easy road out and say, oh, but I have pride in myself. I don't be looked down as a coach who throw games. I want to get
Exactly.
the best out of you guys. I want to get the best out of my players. I want my players to respect me in the years to come and plan for me right now that we just did not give up, just did not fold. I want my assistant coaches to do the same thing. Like, listen, we're going to coach to win. And so if I'm not here, you guys are going to be able to go somewhere and, hey, listen, this guy was a winner because he
Right.
coached on the 8 ball. But our head coach had this situation going on. And believe you me, I know my first 3 years in the league with the Jets, you know, Kotite was there 2 years. He was an offensive coordinator. But when I got to the Jets, Joe Walton, he wasn't trying to throw games, but he was the city of New York didn't want him, you know.
Right.
And so,
Right.
but he was still trying to coach us to win. Now we go 8-7-1 my rookie year. Then we didn't have a good season my second year, but you know he was not there. He was trying to save his job. He was trying to
Right.
coach to save his job. At the same time, probably he didn't save his job, but he was coaching to, or he was coaching to audition for another
For another
place.
job. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
But
just
it's
like
like
players do in training camp, we audition for other
you audition
spots.
for somebody else.
31
Yep.
teams out there. If we don't make it this one, we're auditioning for somebody else. Just like coaches, 31 teams out there. Hey, I may not have this job, but I go coach somewhere else, and hopefully I can
Absolutely.
get to the promised land.
And you know the NFL is a copycat league. So what is
Yeah.
everybody trying to do? Everybody's trying to find the next McVay. They want
Yes.
that young coach, that young
Mhm.
brainchild to see if they can get the same thing out of McVay. And it's like,
They
you
can
know what?
relate to the young players, they say, you know.
Exactly. But you still gonna get some people that's gonna get fired trying to make them decisions because
Right.
you looking at some of these people and it's like you know there's some other people with better qualifications.
Right.
You taking a gamble, and before you wouldn't take that gamble.
It-
So
It's like the coaches who coached in the league, then they get fired and go somewhere else, and they get hired again.
hired again. Yeah.
I don't know what they call. I hate saying this, but I think they call them not a retreads, but you know, how he get another opportunity, and he was not
Exactly.
good.
That's
And
the first one.
he goes back to New England. Now he's got another. There was some other guys who, you know, who's
Was
this
it
guy?
Josh McDaniel?
Yes.
I'm like now that's somebody that I would use example if he was a minority coach that did what he did, there is no way he would ever be considered for another position again.
Right. Right.
You left one position, then you took another position and reneged on it. Like if you would have done those things, you never got caught cheating,
Mhm.
you know. And this was not in this was with the Browns, I believe,
Yeah.
when he was videotaping somebody and got caught doing it. It was like if anybody else had that on their resume, ain't no way they would get a job.
Right.
But you know, they get opportunity after opportunity, and you get people still struggling to get their first shot at the show. So it's
You know,
very interesting.
I've
Go
had
ahead.
players and not players, but I had friends of mine who I grew up with, and uh, other folks, younger people now. They see that how the quarterback situation was, and I used to tell them that the NFL was like down the middle. They considered it the thinking man position.
Right,
The quarterback position was white.
right,
The middle linebackers, the center, and the safeties. They consider it the thinking man's position.
right.
And it evolved, you know. Doug Williams winning the Super Bowl, Warren Moon outperforming. He had to go to Canada first and come back.
Yeah.
And then you see a lot of African American middle linebackers and
Mhm.
safeties now, because they just not saying that they just didn't believe that we had the capabilities of thinking, but we do have the capabilities of thinking. But you know, we have to be allowed to get in that position to showcase our talents
Correct.
as a league, and that goes for coaching. You know,
Yep.
Tony Dungy wins a Super Bowl. Lovey
Yeah.
Smith, the Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl.
He lost the Super Bowl to Dungy.
Right.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
Did you catch Tony Dungy was on
Well, I know you're talking about.
Dan Patrick, where he talked about his experience going through the interview process and how he got the rap for how being a bad interview. Did you see that?
I didn't get a chance to see that.
The guy said he wouldn't say who the owner was. He said, but the guy asked him, he said, you don't curse or raise your voice, right? And he was like, no. He said, so how are you going to motivate my guys to win? And he said, the same way I've been doing. You do it with love. You do it with motivation. You're firm with them, but you don't have to yell. And I get my point across. And when they understand how that works and we build a relationship, that's how they work for me. And he said the owner looked at him and said, you'll never be able to coach my team with that type of attitude. And then after that, he said that's when he got the rap for being a bad interview. And he said later on, years later, after he won the Super Bowl and everything like that, he said he saw the owner somewhere and the guy admitted to him. He said, I was wrong about you. Right. But just to be able to stick to your guns, it cost him another 5 or 6 years in the grind before he actually got his opportunity. But to your point, you see other people getting those opportunities and you shaking your head like, how did you think that was going to work? And not what I was doing. But it's one of those things where, and it's something that isn't new to us, but to your point, with people in positions of power, quarterback, safeties, head coach, middle linebacker, the quarterbacks of the team, exactly. They want
even general managers now,
owners want to see their people or somebody that looks like them in that position. And it takes a lot. You got Rooney, you got Al Davis, who brought Art Shell up, and you had to be comfortable with him. And there was a lot that black players and black coaches had to go through before they would ever get that shot. Get that shot, man. So
I used to talk to some of the older players before me, and I remember talking to one coach when the Eagles played New England in the Super Bowl in 2005, the 2004 season.
Right.
And I spoke to a cornerback who played for the Baltimore Colts. They won a Super Bowl, and I was just curious with him. I said, hey, how was it back in the day? He said, John, man, I got to tell you, it was tough. He said, because I knew I was a better athlete than this guy, but they were black players that compete against each other, for one spot. And I'm like, if not always the best athlete on the field, because certain people had certain jobs that they want to keep on the field. Exactly. He said, it's the game has evolved, but at the same time, I guess we can call them our forefathers, our four brothers before us. Right. It was tough for them as players, and then coaching. Can you lead like you just talked about?
Yeah.
Are you able to lead men, not just hooping and hollering and yelling and cussing and screaming, but how do you get men to get the best out of men? And
everybody can't do that.
Everybody can't do it, but at the same time, Jimmy Johnson had a way with the Cowboys.
Yes.
To win Super Bowls.
Absolutely.
Belichick has a perfect plan in place with the New England Patriots. Who else is out there? The Green Bay Packers. Mike Tomlin. He's haven't had a losing season, has he? Since he's been there. So,
right.
So that's the deal there,
And it also goes to the ownership has to want to do that. Right. Now me and you both, we both played for Norman Braman. So you know what it means to have an owner that, just like Ross, is an absentee owner or just not involved. Me being from Cincinnati, I know how the Brown family was. I know how Mike Brown was. His father was great. He was not so much. He wanted to make money. That was the family business. That wasn't somebody trying to set up a winning football team.
Right.
The Bengals used to be good. Bengals went to when I was in high school.
My rookie year, they went to Super Bowl. Yeah. They played San Francisco. 88.
I remember losing to the 49ers twice. Once with Kenny Anderson, once with Boomer Esiason.
81 and 88 Super Bowls.
88. Back in the when the Icky Shuffle was all the rage. Yeah, man.
Well, they're I've heard the story and some guys, some owners,
they just want to make money. Period.
They're not caring about winning Super Bowls. Maybe they just want to have a big part at the billionaires club and make money.
That's it. That's it. Somebody made a point today because back then, even um, when I came in the league, there weren't a lot of billionaire owners.
No, they weren't.
So the money thing wasn't. I mean, they made a lot of money, but not what they doing now.
Well,
That the stuff the money they make now is just because of the
right,
TV revenues and all of that
right.
kind of stuff. It's just off the charts now.
Well,
And
I'm friends with Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones's son, and
right,
we not communicate every once in a while. And I was from Texas, and in '89 when Jerry bought the Dallas Cowboys for 140 or 150 million dollars,
yep,
they said he leveraged everything to get that, and he had partners back then.
right, right,
And he bought the partners out. The Cowboys had like 13% of it in bankruptcy, you know.
yeah,
But
made
you
it
look at
work.
the organization now, it's worth what, $6 billion.
$6 billion. I remember when
Hmm.
Lurie bought the Eagles. So going into
Yes,
'94, Lurie, because the one thing I always remember about Lurie, and this is how I knew he was, all the talk about him being in the movies and all of that kind of stuff. Um, I knew he was interested in football.
hmm
But I remember we were some preseason game in '94, and we all coming in the locker room, and Lurie was in the middle of the locker room, and he shook everybody's hand, and he looked me in my eye and said, "Great game tonight, Marcus." And I knew there was no reason he should have known who I was, but
right.
he did.
Hmm.
But he did because he was invested in what he was doing, and you could
Right.
tell.
Well,
And
he won. Yes.
it ended up paying dividends. But you don't have that with all of the owners.
Not all of them, because it's uh, like you said, not a lot of them were billionaires back then.
Yeah,
And and we look back at it, it wasn't that long ago.
it wasn't.
1993, that's when the money started really
Started
coming
rolling in.
in.
Yep.
And
Yeah, because I remember when you played with Reggie White, right?
I
Did
played
you?
Reggie White '92, and I left the Eagles in '93, and he did
Right.
the Green Bay, and
Yep.
you know,
You
and
left my rookie year because when
yeah,
I got there, we still had Seth was still captain, Byron
Seth,
Evans was still captain, Wes
Eric Allen
Howard,
was there.
EA was
West
still
Hall
there,
was Andre still there? Andre Waters was still there,
Andre
right?
Waters, Minnie Mac was still there,
Benny Mack and Rich
Mark
Miano.
Bavaro, Rich Miano. Yep.
Yeah, Mark Rivaro and
Yep. The fridge was still there.
Clyde,
We saw
Clyde
the fridge.
Simmons. Clyde Simmons
Yep.
was still
Clyde.
there. Hmm.
Clyde was
Yeah,
there. Willie T. Me and Willie T is still super
yeah,
tight
Willie T. Yeah.
to this day. So, but
So,
that was after, and that was I believe that was the summer after Jerome got killed.
well, Jerome passed away the summer of 1992,
Right.
and we went to the playoff that year. And after the '92 season, well, the '93 playoffs of the '92 season, that's when uh, the Eagles, Norm Raymond, I thought what was talk was that uh, Reggie was not the producer that he was.
Yeah, man.
And then and his sack was going down, and so he was getting old, and uh, and that's when Reggie left to go to Green Bay in
Go to Green
1990.
Bay. And he said, I didn't want to go, but he didn't
Oh,
act like he
he wanted
wanted
to stay
to.
in Philadelphia. He wanted to stay
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to stay in Philadelphia myself, but I'm like, this is opportunity for me, and they wouldn't offer me what Phoenix offered me. But
That was the thing, man.
yeah.
But to one of the things we mentioned earlier, man, what in the world are we gonna do with this damn Pro Bowl, dude? This is
Oh,
horrible.
that was. Whew. I'm
That
like,
was a hot mess.
what they call it, thud drills, or bump them up, or butt them up when you hit
Oh
them. They
my
just hit him
god.
at the ground, and like, dude, we can. Hey, tell you what, let us put the uniforms out there. The old men, we go out there and play.
For
You
real,
know,
I'll take that check. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah,
Anytime the Senior Bowl was better than the Pro Bowl,
right.
and it's like
And
y'all got to do something better than that, man.
so
Just
I
have
was
a
talking
skills challenge. That's it. Do that.
the
Just have the skills challenge. Leave it at that.
maybe the pregame flag football teams was better
Something.
than that. I was talking to someone who was I talking? J.B. Brown. We were talking about today, cornerback for the Miami Dolphins and Lions, and we were talking about how horrible that game was. And I thought about it, how back in the day it was an honor. I wanted to make the Pro Bowl. It didn't happen, but I see the guys who made it and played in the Pro Bowls, how they were knocking the stuffers out of each other because they wanted to win.
Absolutely.
And that was back in the day when we had training camps. It was like training camps from hell,
Yeah, 2 days
Yeah.
and you thumped all day.
Oh my God. And then hit during the season practice, and but and it's not that I'm jealous of it or envious of it. I could be, these guys making a ton of money, not a ton of money relative to what it is, but they're making really good. We didn't make it what they made, right?
No, sir.
And they don't hit anymore. They don't hit
No,
in
sir.
practice. They don't hit in practice. They
No.
only have one training camp. They only have one scheduled all pads once a week, well, how it goes, and you can't hit nobody and intimidate them in the game.
Can't
And then
do
you
nothing.
get to the Pro Bowl.
Everybody's doing that Steve Walsh. The Steve Walsh.
Right, and then you get to the Pro Bowl, and it just sums it up right there. No, we're not going to hit. Pass rush, quarterbacks throwing interceptions. It's field day for the DBs.
Field day for the DBs. Everybody playing Ole.
It didn't count, man.
It didn't mean anything. The
You
contacts
know,
are too big. You can't be in an exhibition game and get hurt. So everybody's like, well, I'm not doing that. I got a bonus coming in there. It's not going to do it. I would rather somebody made the suggestion.
Yeah,
where
my
they said
contract's up.
they should have the two. They should find a way so the last half of the league is like playing for a lottery spot, so they can get rid of tanking. In the last half of the season, like maybe put a game in there so you can play for the first pick or something like that. So combine a couple ideas, man. Do something though, but this because what they're doing is not working. It's not working.
The deal is, fans were out there. Fans want to see you hit, and they paid a pretty ticket price for that ticket. And
that was a waste.
We just don't want to see the skills challenge. We want to see tackle football.
Tackle football.
They got to do something about that. I hope the competition committee say, listen, we're getting waxed from this game, so we need to do something about it.
If they're gonna do that, just cancel it. I would rather see them just make it a skills competition and then make it a meet and greet.
Yeah, sign autograph.
If you pay all of that for a ticket, then you know what, you're gonna get your autograph and your picture and your jersey signed, the whole thing, and you make it mandatory. Like if we're gonna pay you that $55,000 bonus for making it to the Pro Bowl, you're gonna earn it because you're gonna be signing autographs for 4 or 5 hours straight. Whatever you got to do, but they can't do that again because.
And think about it. You know what we used to say back in the day, when you're in practice, you got to go full speed. Because you get hurt when you start
messing around.
Messing around.
I was waiting for somebody to step on somebody's foot, finger.
Or if somebody else couldn't slow up, and somebody else slowed up, and somebody else couldn't slow up, and boom, there it is.
Exactly,
so hey, the gift that keeps on giving. So I wonder how it's going to keep on giving. And I'm curious about Commissioner Goodell's State of the NFL address, and
he got a lot of stuff on his plate. And I heard some thoughts about Goodell, and I tend to agree with him. And I was listening to Bomani Jones and Dominique Foxworthy. And Foxworthy, who used to be an NFLPA rep, he said he doesn't dislike Goodell. He said he's about trying to do the right thing, but at the end of the day, he works for the owners.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, he's only got so much leash that he can do what he needs to do, and there's only so much stuff he can stop, and he keeps getting smacked in the face with it. So that should be an interesting meeting, the state of the NFL. He's going to have to answer every day questions about Brian Flores and minority hiring and all that kind of stuff. And now he's got to answer questions about, well, what about this tanking issue and all of that kind of stuff? Because that's the issue where you affecting the money, the gambling money.
Right.
So now, that's a big problem.
And fans paying all this season ticket holders and paying all this money. They don't want to see that, even though their teams could be poor or I don't care. I don't ever want to say an NFL team is poor because there's
Right.
all pro athletes out there, right?
Right.
But the fans and the players themselves, we don't want to be considered tankers or giving up.
Right.
You know, our fans don't want to see that. So our fans sometimes like, well, we need to tank so we can get the first pick in the
Get the
first.
pick.
We don't know if the first pick gonna be a Joe Burrow. You know, we don't know that. You know,
And I think Joe Burrow has just started the clock on every young quarterback because now everybody wants the next Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. And it's like those are elite talents that don't grow on trees. Most 98% to 99% of young quarterbacks that come out still need 2 to 3 years of development time before they're ready, before they're, NFL quality level. Jalen Hurts still needs. I'm so interested to see what's going to happen with Jalen Hurts this year because this will be the first year in his 6 years, the 4 years in college, and going into his third year. This will be the first time he's under the same offense.
Oh, yeah.
The first time. And I try to tell people that want to trash him, and I'm like, you have zero idea how difficult it is to learn an NFL playbook.
But that's the deal. I love fans, but they want it now.
They want it now.
You just said they have zero ideas to learn. Our playbooks are thick. Now they got the
iPads. Yeah, we had the 3-ring binder.
Yeah. But the deal is the checks and all that stuff to get everybody on the same page as a quarterback. Hey, that takes a lot. You know?
Man.
And I don't know if Hurts had a dad that played college ball or high school ball. Like
his dad was the high school coach. So his dad coached him. So.
Okay, coaching. So, but that's not like a Peyton Manning and Eli Manning who had a dad who played.
Right.
And so it's in their DNA.
Correct.
They knew how to study. They knew how to break down film. But with Hurts, same thing with Michael Vick. He had to learn how to not run as much.
Right.
Became a better passer. Same
Yeah.
our guy Randall Cunningham.
Yeah. Look what Randall did when he went to Minnesota.
Exactly. We still. I talked to Fred. Me and Fred Barnett talked about that.
I'm trying to get Freddie B on the show.
Yeah. I was like, man, I wish Randall would have thrown that ball like that when we were playing with him.
Oh my God, man. It was night and day, and that was like. Then you see okay, now you get it. Especially me, because I remember being in them meetings with Dick Woods and Zeke, and you kind of look like it's got to be something more than this,
right?
And it just wasn't. And you saw you kind of understood why Randall was running around and making it up as he went along, because it's like it wasn't. And then when you see him get to a much better team with much better offensive coaches and better receivers and all of that kind of stuff, and you really see what he was capable of, and it was like, wow.
Well, I guess it's a complete game, right? No matter who you have back at quarterback, look at Trent Dilfer, but he had protection. He had a 2,000-yard running back for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Everything starts up front in your run game, and then if you have we have some great receivers, and we lost Hue Jackson in '92 to Miami, but you have some weapons, But again, when you have those big dogs up front that can those road graders that can protect, you can sit back there and make plays happen for yourself.
Yeah, man. We were antiquated, man. Because I never forget. You remember Dick Woods?
Oh yeah,
he was the running back coach. So I remember. I remember there was no fullback, tailback, or nothing like that. You were A back or B back, and usually B back was on the tight end side, so you usually had pass protection, and so everybody wanted to be the A back. And I'm coming out of Eastern Kentucky. I'm like 205, and I'm like, why am I doing pass protection all the time? This Mike linebacker coming in trying to clean my clock, and it's like I never understood that, I never understood why they. I mean, we had Heath was there, James Joseph was still there, Herschel was still there, but why are you putting Herschel to pass block? based on it, like it just didn't. Some of the stuff didn't make sense, and I was like, and then when you see the other teams and what they're doing, and I was like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand. And I would tell people everybody that's in the NFL shouldn't be, and there's plenty of people that should be that aren't.
Yeah.
Coaches included.
Coaches included. Yeah. So like,
Included.
well, how? Well, how did he get it? How did he make it? And I know there's a lot of guys may ask us, or people say, well, how did Marcus and John make it? A mentality, a
The
tough,
old-fashioned way.
old fashioned. You learned it, man, and it's just I know the fans they want it right now.
Yeah, no patience.
You want to develop a quarterback. Again, where's Aaron Rodgers going to go? Is he going to be with Green Bay? And will he go to a place and, will he be a prima donna when he goes to another place? Or will he be that quarterback in Green Bay? I know we sound like we bounce all over the place, but hey, with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, you would think they have more Super Bowl rings than
Exactly.
Tom Brady, right?
Exactly. Man, you know what? I look at how Belichick has been doing things. Now, obviously, he had a couple years with the whole cheating thing, and he's taking his lumps, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And if people want to put an asterisk on the stuff that he did, I'm good with that. But the one thing that Belichick has always done better than anybody else, and I don't understand why other coaches don't see this. Belichick is the type of person that says, okay, I know what I want to do, but I know this is what you do well. So I'm going to adjust what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to let you do what you do well. So if I put Edelman here, and the only thing I want him to do is run that 5-yard slant, I'm going to hit him with that 5-yard slant every time, and eventually he's going to make that 5-yard slant a 24-yard gain, or he's going to take it to the house. And it seems like he is the best at knowing his personnel. Like, I got you do this one thing well. So the only time I'm going to use you is when I want to do that one thing. And it works. And I don't understand why all these other coaches are trying to put these square pegs in round holes.
Well, look at this, man. Look back at the 49ers. John Taylor and Jerry Rice. You just 5 minutes. Poof, next thing you know, where did speed come from? They see something. I see something. I'm gonna take away your best guy, and I'll make the guy who is not your best guy on the team beat us. So he is meticulous, and he's a little mad scientist. He worked on the Bill Parcells with the Giants, got Super Bowl rings with the Giants, and so he knows about the X's and O's of football, and he wants to, and he don't mind going after guys as far as putting them in their place. That's what he's different. How he approached with the media and all that jazz too. So, there's a lot of little things that it goes on, and you look at it like how one team can seem like they're always winning. Another team's like, man,
like the Bengals.
Yes, dude. Don't you go to the draft every year? You have pro football players on your team. You have star players on your team, but you seem like you just can't get there. What is that? But again, I love the Philadelphia Eagles. They're my second team I played for when I came over from the Jets. They used to call us the Philadelphia Jets when I got there with Bud Carson, Coach Type, but we did.
Bud and Coach.
Yeah,
I'm still mad at Coach Type, man, because I didn't get my well, that really wasn't Coach Type. That was Norman Brayman. We didn't take in '93. We didn't take a team picture. So my rookie year, we have no team picture. Let me tell you what Brayman did. Brayman took all of our camp mugshots and put them all together in the media guide. We did not take a picture where we put our uniforms on, get in the stands, and we didn't do that. And I was like, I was hot. I was hot. But it is what it is, man.
But again, that's different ownership doing it.
Different ownership, different time.
And like you said, Laurie comes in and you look in your eyes and say, "Hey, how you doing, Marcus?" Because they said nothing. That makes you feel good, makes you want to play for a guy like that.
Absolutely.
And when I look at the Eagles nowadays, I'm like,
I wish
they're right there.
Yeah,
you need some pieces in place, but they can compete.
They can compete, man. My only concern with Sirianni is he hasn't shown me that he's that dude that can make that decision that says, I got to let you go.
Hmm.
When you hear about Parcells and Jimmy Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
Parcells in particular, because he was that dude where it was like, we appreciate you everything that you've done, but I got to get some because you're not getting it done, so I got to let you go. Belichick is like that too. He's not afraid to cut somebody.
No, he's
And
not.
I want to see if Sirianni has
Well,
got
this
that
is
in him.
Sirianni's first year, or second, first year, right?
Yep.
So maybe he'll develop that and see. Hey, listen, I need to. Well, I get uptight sometimes because my guy from TCU, Rieger,
Yeah.
he like, dude, you had a chance to win the games, but you dropped the passes. So hopefully you'll bounce back next year. Hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but again, where's that mentality of like? See, back in the day when we played, man, we had I think even our star players had just a little bit of fear in us.
Absolutely.
Because I think they said, well, we can cut you anytime.
Exactly.
With the
Tomorrow
salary
was
cap,
not promised. Tomorrow was not promised, man.
You're walking on Monday after a bad game, like, oh.
And somebody like me who was an undrafted free agent,
Yeah.
every day in practice, I'm looking over my shoulder because you did not want to see that Grim Reaper coming at you. That knock on the door at 6 o'clock in the morning, bring your playbook.
Right, you're working hard in practice.
Yeah,
man. You can't lag in practice. So you want to make the plays in practice so they can correlate in the game. So
exactly. So we'll see what happens next year. I was somebody that I didn't mind the Rager pick when they picked him, but even I'm looking at him like, if you were anywhere else, you'd have been gone. So they spent the money on you, but you have got to show and prove come next year. And I made the prediction. My prediction was next year. I said they're not going to cut him. I said, but the way he's going, he's not going to start next year. There'll be a free agent or some young rookie that's going to outshine if he continues to play the way he's been playing.
Well, the Eagles got 3 picks in the first round.
Yep.
So I think they're looking at a linebacker and a safety, and I don't know if they're looking at another receiver, but
I think they might try to get a free agent receiver. But he's going to be on the hot seat next year. Him and J-Jaw.
As well, he should be.
As well, he should be. I don't understand if I
was. He put himself in that position.
Absolutely. Like, dude, you got to catch the ball. You 6 foot, whatever. You should be jumping over everybody. Every time I threw our thing of white side of the ball, I would tell him, like, listen, every time you get a pass, you better be going up like you dunking on somebody. I am not throwing you the ball at eye level. You go up and you jump over because you're a big body. Do it.
This is you. This is what you do. This is your forte. This is just your expertise right here. This is what you do. Make the play. He
ain't gonna run away from nobody. So you better find a way to make it work. So it'll be interesting to see what Sirianni does next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It really will be.
Yeah.
And
but to your point, we'll be competitive, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
We'll be competitive. So Gannon's not going anywhere.
Well, again, the thing about it, don't have. And I learned this in Philadelphia when I was playing with Reggie and the guys. Let's not rely on somebody else to win a game.
Facts.
Let's win our games. So when it comes down towards the end of the season, we don't have to rely on another team to win. Because later on in the season, and it's so true, guys do have their bags packed up. Like, hey, we're not going to play off. Let's finish up, but we're not going to tank.
That locker is clean at the end of the season.
But back then, that's when the coaches come in and say, okay, all right, you guys better keep going 100 miles an hour because the eye in the sky don't lie. We can tell.
The guy in the sky don't lie. Absolutely right. Now, one more thing before I let you go.
Okay.
You were with the Eagles in 92 or 93, correct?
No, 91, 92.
91 and 92. Okay. Give me your best Reggie story.
Oh, for Reggie White, man.
Give me your best Reggie story.
Well, it's probably that off the field. I was honored. Reggie White in the 92 off season before training camp started. We had a mini camp. And Reggie White said, Boots. I said, what's up, Reggie? What you doing? I said, I'm doing good. He said, "You want to be my roommate in training camp?" I said, "Reggie, you asking me to be your roommate in training camp?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I would be honored to be your roommate in training camp." I knew I wasn't going to miss. I would have to go to every Bible study, but that's training camp. But we ended up being roommates in training camp and on the road. And Reggie, those fun memories. Don't want to get in a wrestling match with a big old guy like that. He was a big bear, big teddy bear, and he liked to jump around and have fun. But in a game, I remember one night, Monday night, we played the New York Giants. It was 91 season. And Reggie White walked into the locker room. He said, "Big Dog is ready to play tonight." And I think a Riesenberg the line for the Giants was just catching it. Reggie was just chilling. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm on his team."
Was that the Jesus is coming game?
I don't know if it was, but I know I bet they were saying, "Please, Jesus, control your disciple here."
Because I heard there was a famous story where he would be on the line like, "Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming."
I think Phil Simms said that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Now, when he didn't get mad. He wasn't a fighter, but when you make him mad, oh my God,
unstoppable.
I saw what he did to Larry Allen.
Yeah, the Cowboy.
Larry, he took that big 370. I don't know how many pounds he were, but just tossed him.
Just tossed him.
He was playing tackle at the time, and they moved him to guard. He became a Hall of Famer. But I am telling you, Reggie, when I saw him do to some of those linemen, I'm like, it's unbelievable. And then I get excited when I talk about Reggie because they try to have those wide receivers come in motion and chip block. Yeah, well, they tried to when Chris Carter, former Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings great, gonna try to block Reggie. Reggie took him and tossed him right into Warren Moon's feet and sacked Warren Moon. I just laughed. I'm like, why would they try to chip or have Chris Carter block Reggie White?
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I really wish I would have had a chance to. I was hoping.
You'd have loved it, man. You'd have loved it. Yeah. He got you fired up, man. And with Eric Allen and Wes Hopkins and Andre Waters.
Yeah. Still had those boys, man. And
just imagine having playing with Reggie. If Reggie would have stayed in Philadelphia, I probably would have stayed in Philadelphia myself.
Yeah.
So
I always tell people I was there for the last piece of the gangrene defense. Piece.
And think about it. In '91, when we was the number one ranked defense in the league, just imagine Clyde Simmons, Mike Pitts, Golick Pitts would come in, Jerome Brown, and Reggie White.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unstoppable, man. Unstoppable force.
Fun times, man.
Yeah.
Just wish we'd gone to the playoffs. Had we had a healthy quarterback, even had Jim McMahon stayed healthy the whole year, and we made it to the playoffs, our defense would have carried us, man.
Yep. I remember we 93 was the year against the Jets. Randall tore his knee.
Yes,
and that was when Eric Allen had that crazy interception return. Randall was coming out the tunnel and gave him the ball. And I remember that we had signed Bubby Brister from Pittsburgh like maybe a week or two before that. So when Bubby had to play, he didn't know the offense. He was drawing it up on the ground. Wow. He didn't know the offense.
Yeah. So and that's Randall, that's like 91 and 93 it hurt.
Yeah.
And it's nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. Man, but there's so much talent on that team. Like
crazy talent, man. Crazy talent. And even the free agents that were there when I got there, because when I got there, Emac was there, Eric McMillan, he came from the Jets. Mark Bavaro, the Fridge.
Did you have Fuller? That was Townsend from the Raiders. You had either Fuller from the Houston Oilers or Townsend from the Raiders.
It was Fuller.
It
was Fuller, and we also had
Do you have the linebacker?
What's the guy that what was his
Romanowski? Name? Did y'all have him?
Yes. We did have
Bill
Romanowski. We
Romanowski.
had Britt Hager.
Britt
We
Hager.
had, what was the dude from the 49ers that would always get busted for drunk driving? The defensive end.
Harris? Tim
Yes.
Harris?
Jim Harris.
Tim Harris. Tim. He
Tim
played for
Harris.
the Green Bay Packers
Yes.
and 49ers, yes.
Man, listen. Tim Harris, I remember we scrimmaged the Jets and we stayed in New York because, Kotite had them connections and everything. And I remember woke up to go to breakfast one day. Tim Harris was in the bar at like 8:30 in the morning talking to some dude that had a suitcase full of fake Rolex watches, and he bought like 3 of them. And I was like, what is wrong with this dude? And that dude used to come to practice, and he would smell like alcohol because he was sweated out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, that was crazy, man.
Tim Harris. His famous saying on those NFL Films highlights, he was saying about back then, we used to knock the stuff out of the quarterback, and Tim Harris had a saying on NFL Film highlights. He was saying, "Hey, we can hit the quarterback. It's not a tennis match out here. This is not a tennis match. Let us hit him." So it's crazy. But now you can't do that. You blow at him, you got to.
Nah, that'll be all over social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
But listen, brother, I appreciate the time, man. I enjoyed this conversation, bro.
Thank you, brother.
This is why I'm doing it, man. I'm trying to get as many of the alumni brothers on here as I can. So if you know anybody that would love to be on the show for a couple minutes, talk football and just talk, what's going on, you know how we do. Let me know. I would anybody man, open invitation on the show, brother.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you the question. I was asked this yesterday, and I said I'm gonna hold off to the end of the week. Who do you pick? You think the Rams or the Bengals?
Oh, dude, I'm from Cincinnati, bro.
Okay. That's that quick. You know what? I'm gonna tell you because you said you're gonna air this on Thursday, right?
Yes.
But I'm leaning towards Cincinnati. Something about Cincinnati just don't. They linger. They hang in there.
They figure out a way to bring it back.
9 sacks, Tennessee. 9 sacks on.
Right.
And he comes back. Who did they play after Tennessee? It was after Tennessee game.
KC.
No. KC they just beat.
It was Tennessee.
Tennessee. The AFC Championship game was KC. Who was before KC? Tennessee. Buffalo. No, it wasn't Buffalo.
Was it? What? No, I think it was. I think it was Tennessee because they
was a wild card game. Then they had a conference game. Then they had then a division. I can't remember. Division game. Then they had an AFC Championship game.
I'm about to look up get on the internet and find it. Let me see. Why can't I think about this? Now watch when I play this, it'll be a bunch of people in the.
Who was that?
No. The divisional round. Let me see.
Who was the wild card game? They beat Tennessee. The division round was Tennessee. Who they beat before Tennessee? But Tennessee had the bye week.
Steelers, Browns, Ravens, Titans, Colts, Texans, Jaguars, AFC West. The Patriots. Was it?
They beat the Patriots.
Was it the Patriots?
No, the Patriots make the playoffs.
Then it was the Bills. Then we had the. No, because the Bills played the. Maybe it was 2 games.
Played Kansas City, right? And so Kansas City beat. Kansas City beat the Bills to play Cincinnati. So who did Cincinnati play?
I can't find it. Don't bother me now.
I know they didn't have a bye week, Cincinnati, right?
Did? I don't think they did either.
Yeah, they didn't have a bye week. That's what technology for. We can get right on it right now, right?
Man, standing news. It's only showing me.
I'm trying to find that little.
Cincinnati Bengals season overview. There we go. More games. All right, so we got regular season. Tampa Bay.
No, Tampa Bay NFC.
Preseason. Oh, that's preseason. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um,
So we're looking for the playoffs.
Las Vegas.
They beat the Raiders.
The Raiders, Las Vegas. Las Vegas,
Yeah.
Tennessee, then KC.
Yes. Okay.
Las Vegas.
So
Drive me
to
nuts.
go from where to beat these teams, it was not like hands down beating them up. You know what I mean?
They had to come back.
And then what? Kansas City get the ball first in overtime?
In overtime. Yep.
And
And you thought Patrick
Kansas
Mahomes
City,
was going to do what Patrick Mahomes does?
Kansas City had Burrows dead to rights and sacks, and he got away.
Got away.
So I'm thinking, is the football gods talking? That's going to happen this Sunday.
Could be.
It's not going to be a blowout, I don't think.
I hope you're right. It ain't got to be a blowout. It don't say ugly win. It just say win.
Win. And they're going to hang in there and say, okay, because the guy's cool.
Yeah,
Joe Burrows is cool.
Joe cool. And you know he is Cincinnati kid too. He's from Cincinnati.
That's cool. And that makes it even better. It makes it more special.
Even better.
I have a teammate. I know Icky Ruetz and I came in the league the same year in '88.
Yep.
And he goes to the Super Bowl. But I played. He had a linebacker who played in the Super Bowl with Cincinnati as Joe Kelly. You remember Joe Kelly?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah, he was with the Jets in 1990. Mm-hmm. And he also played with the Eagles. Did he play with you with the Eagles?
Nah, I was 93 and 94.
Okay, because he I guess he got that 95 thing. Yeah, Joe Kelly. So, anywho, brother, appreciate you having me.
Man, thank you for this conversation, brother. We're going to have to do it again, man.
Yes, anytime, brother. Here for you.
All right, I appreciate you, man.
Good night.
Enjoy the rest of your week, bro.
You too, brother.
Thanks for John jumping on with me. We had a good conversation, man. Most of the time when I talk to the brother to play with, it's just good talking with the brotherhood, coming up with stuff we forgot about, and always a good conversation. So always looking to get other alumni, former teammates, things of that nature on. So, and a little bit of breaking news. It's actually kind of funny. Back to the Sixers real quick, where I guess Kevin Durant is captain of the All-Star team. And of course, he's not going to choose James Harden to play. So just thought that was funny. So, but all right, that's about my time. I'm going to get up on out of here, man. I had a good talk with John. We got some new stuff coming up in the future. I will definitely let you guys know, but we keep trying to build it. As usual, thanks for joining me. Tell somebody about me, and next time you jump on, make sure you remind somebody else to jump on. Smash that like button so we can make this thing grow. I appreciate you. And hopefully when I get back with you next week, I will get back to you talking about how my Bengals are the Super Bowl champions. So let's see about it. All right. You guys have a good week. Have a good weekend. Be safe. And I will holler at you next week. Peace.